Hello everyone, my name is Matt, also known as the Survivor Guy, and today I am going to be fixing the glaring issues with Survivor's new card game, Let's Go to Rocks.
Now we created a whole new way to immerse yourself in rocks. Let's Go to Rocks throws you into 5 rock-tested challenges to bring the rocks to your game night.
Those of you who are regulars here on my channel may remember the video I made when Survivor's first card game, The Tribe Has Spoken, came out. In that video, I talked about how that game was a pretty authentic Survivor experience, but it had one major flaw. There were no immunity challenges. Well, I guess someone at Exploding Kittens was listening because this new card game, Let's Go to Rocks, aims to solve that very problem. When I first heard about this game, I had two thoughts. The first being, hey, that's pretty cool, they actually listened to my idea. And the second being, where's my check, Jeff? All jokes aside, obviously when I heard about this game, I had to buy it and compare the immunity challenges in this game to the ones that I came up with to see whose ideas were better. Spoiler alert, it's mine, it's not even close. But when I was playing this game for the first time, I realized that this new game may be even more flawed than the original was. But not to worry, because just like the first game, the Survivor Guy is here to fix all of Jeff's mistakes. If only he would take my advice about rapping.
Can I get a little bit of this?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
So in order to understand the problems with Let's Go to Rocks, first we have to describe what the game actually is. So the game is marketed to be two things. The first being an expansion to the original game, The Tribe Has Spoken, that adds in immunity challenges to add another layer of strategy to that game. And as an expansion to the original card game, I really don't have that many complaints. Sure, the immunity challenges are all based off of luck, and there are only 5 of them, so if you play them a lot, they can get a little repetitive and maybe a little bit boring. But I think just the fact that you have somebody winning immunity adds an entire layer of strategy that the original card game was really missing. So I don't think it's really that bad as an expansion to The Tribe Has Spoken. My problem with Let's Go to Rocks lies in the fact that they also market it as a standalone party game. And as a standalone party game, there's really not much there. In my opinion, it seems like the game was designed to be only an expansion to The Tribe Has Spoken, and then some big shot executive came along and was like, ooh, but think of all the money that we could make if we also said it was its own game, while they were like twirling their handlebar mustache and swimming in a pool of gold coins. So here's how the standalone Let's Go to Rocks is supposed to work. Each person gets 2 character cards, and these character cards basically act as your lives in the game. When one of your character cards is voted out, you flip it over. If both of your character cards are voted out, then you are out of the game. Now, you may have noticed that I put very heavy air quotes around the words voted out, and we will get to that later. Once each player has chosen their character cards, you take the immunity challenge cards, shuffle them, and put them in a pile in the middle. Then each player takes a turn going around in a circle, flipping over a card, doing that immunity challenge, and if you win, winning immunity. And at this point you may be thinking, Matt, that actually sounds pretty fun. What could possibly be the issue with this game? Well, strap in, because here's where things go sideways. The first issue is with the immunity challenges themselves, if you can even really call them that. All of the immunity challenges involve this tiny bag of rocks here. Like I said before, there are only 5 immunity challenges, and of the 5, 3 of them are just pure luck. Reach into the bag, grab a rock, hope it's the right color. If it is, you win. If it's not, you lose. The other 2 minigames involve bluffing about what color rock you may or may not have, which is a bit more fun than the 3 that are just pure luck. But again, when your entire game is based off of only 5 minigames, you would expect something more entertaining and well thought out. Especially given that we have 50 seasons of Survivor with all of these unique and interesting challenges, I just thought they would have put a little bit more effort into the 5 challenges that they picked for this card game. And I wish that I could say the immunity challenges themselves were the worst part of this game, but they're not even close. The winner of the immunity challenge gets to wear this neat little necklace, which honestly is pretty cool, definitely the highlight of buying this game. And that person wins immunity, which means they cannot be voted for at Tribal Council. The only problem is, there is no Tribal Council, and there is no vote. The person that wins immunity points to another player, that player is voted out, and they lose a life, and then you go around and you do it again. There is no voting, there is no Tribal Council, and there is no strategy. And now you can see why I put so much stank on the words voted out earlier, because how can you have a game with Survivor branding all over it and no voting? That is like the main thing in Survivor. And this is the egregious crime of this game that forced me to make an entire video on this topic, because this is a major, major flaw that needs correcting as soon as possible by yours truly. So, how do we fix this? Well, my first suggestion would be to just not play Let's Go to Rocks as a standalone game, and just use it as an expansion to The Tribe Has Spoken, because that makes The Tribe Has Spoken a very complete and very fun game. But let's say you were given Let's Go to Rocks as a gift, and you don't feel like going out and spending the money on The Tribe Has Spoken to make it a complete game. How can you salvage this half-baked approximation of Mario Party minigames dressed up in Jeff's clothing? Well, I say we fix it the same way that we originally fixed The Tribe Has Spoken, by giving the game the one thing that is so obviously lacking. Here's what I would do. Go grab some index cards, make sure they're all the same size, shape, and color so that you can't tell the difference if you're only looking at one side. On the other side, write the color associated with each of the Survivor character cards. So in order to have a complete set of voting cards, you're gonna need 5 cards for each color associated with the Survivor character cards. When you're playing the game, once someone wins immunity, instead of just having that person point to someone and voting them out, actually have a tribal council with a vote. The person who has immunity will act as Jeff. They will read the votes, they will collect the votes. You can allow time for discussion, maybe set a timer for 10 minutes, however much time you think you need. And then after that time, each person picks one of their voting cards that has the color of who they want to vote for and hands it to the person who won immunity. That person then reads the votes. Person with the most votes is voted out. In the event of a tie, well, you've got a nice bag of rocks here that you can use to break that tie. You then continue this process going around in a circle, drawing the cards, somebody wins immunity, you vote someone out until there are only 2 players left, at which point the players that were voted out get to cast their vote for a winner. You know, like Survivor. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't think of this when they came up with the game. It wouldn't really cost them anything to add 30 extra cards to the box, and then they would have the opportunity to market this as a more old school Survivor card game experience. They could have marketed The Tribe Has Spoken as a more new era type of Survivor game where there are all these advantages that you can put into play and twists to get ahead. And they could have marketed Let's Go to Rocks as the more old school Survivor game, where you have to rely more on winning immunity and good old-fashioned social strategy. The 2 games still would have been distinct and also distinctly Survivor, and they would have appealed to different parts of the Survivor fan base. Missed opportunity aside, if you do try adding my suggestions into your game of Let's Go to Rocks, please let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have any suggestions of your own that you've tried to implement to spice up these card games, let me know that as well. I'm always looking for new ideas. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you could drop a like and subscribe, that would really help me out a lot. And if you work at CBS, give me a call. See you next time, everyone.